The rising sun barely managed to dispel the thick mist that embraced the forest. Therion, was alone in a small nook of a clearing that seemed to exist between dream and reality. The cold morning air mingled with the damp scent of freshly rained soil and the subtle aroma of decaying leaves, creating an atmosphere of mystery and renewal. All around me, the ancient, imposing trees raised their gnarled trunks as if determined to guard the secrets held by the forest. Each dewdrop shone in the trembling light of dawn, like tiny jewels silently sparkling, while a serene and steady stream murmured forgotten tales. In this setting that blended beauty and unease, I felt a tense calm, as if the very environment were preparing for a challenge that would change the course of my existence. As I walked slowly along the uneven trail, my thoughts wandered between the scars of the past and the uncertainty of what was to come. The memories of the horrors I had experienced, the screams in Eredhall, Lyria's despair, and the moment the black flame awakened within me, merged with a feeling of resignation and, at the same time, a strange hope. I had always been the anti-hero who fought alone, held captive by doubts and fears that imprisoned me, but in that secluded spot, solitude seemed to offer the opportunity for profound introspection. As the soft sound of the stream grew louder, I noticed something different. Fresh footprints and carvings on the ground, as if someone or something had passed by recently. These were signs that I was no longer alone on this journey. My heart raced, not just at the prospect of a new enemy, but at the chance to find allies who could share the weight of this uncertain destiny. Suddenly, the trail opened up to a small valley hidden among the trees. There, a gentle light bathed the ground, revealing a series of stones arranged in a circular pattern, forming what appeared to be a natural altar. The silence of the place was absolute, broken only by the whisper of the wind passing through the leaves. Each stone was covered in moss, and inscriptions, nearly faded by time, recounted tales of rituals and sacrifices. I felt an intense, ancient energy emanating from that altar, a silent invitation for me to confront not only the power pulsing through my veins, but also the hidden secrets of my own soul.
Quick tip to level up your experience. Read Manhwas and light novels for free. Listen to epic audiobooks. Watch unlimited anime. Play cloud games with no console. And stream the best anime soundtracks. Check the description now and grab your free trials.
As I approached the altar, I was taken aback by the appearance of a figure emerging from the shadows. This time, it wasn't an ethereal entity or a vestige of the past. It was a woman with a striking presence, her black hair contrasting with her piercing green eyes that seemed to reflect the very essence of the forest. Her expression was serene, yet it carried an ancient sorrow, as if every wrinkle on her face were a mark of internal battles fought throughout a long and arduous life. "Therion," she said in a voice that blended firmness and compassion, while her eyes fixed on mine with an almost magnetic intensity, "you have reached a crucial point in your journey." I looked at her, feeling an immediate, strange connection. In my years of solitary struggle, I had never encountered anyone who made me feel that perhaps I didn't have to face these challenges alone. "My name is Lysara," she continued, "and I am the keeper of the secrets preserved by this altar. Here, you will find the test of the spirit that will determine whether you are ready to transcend your own limitations." As Lysara spoke, the clearing seemed to transform. The light of dawn gained a new intensity, and the murmur of the stream took on the rhythm of an ancient chant. She invited me to sit beside her on a large stone, smoothed by time, and with gentle gestures, began to explain that the altar was the place where the ancients performed a ritual intended to test the faith and determination of the bearer of the black flame. "This is the ritual that separates those who live in shadows from those who dare to embrace the light and darkness within themselves," Lysara said, as her eyes swept over the altar with reverence. I listened attentively as she described how the ritual required the candidate to confront a series of spiritual and physical challenges, forcing him to face not only external enemies but also the demons residing within his own heart. "To master this power, Therion, you must first prove that you can control the storm that resides within you," she declared, emphasizing that true ascension depended not merely on strength or skill, but on the courage to confront one's own fears. While Lysara guided me through the details of the ritual, Cairo and the other wanderers who had joined me observed in silent attentiveness. The group, composed of individuals marked by their own struggles, seemed to have come together not only to offer support but also to assure that, together, we could confront the forces threatening to corrupt the ancient power. "We are the Wanderers," Cairo declared in a firm voice as he stepped forward and looked directly at me. "Our union is not the result of chance, but a vital necessity to restore the balance between light and shadow." I hesitated, feeling the duality of my nature, constantly torn between the desire to isolate myself and the longing to find something that would complete me. But Cairo's words and Lysara's gaze awakened a new perspective within me. Perhaps the true test was not just the fight against enemies, but the acceptance of one's own vulnerability. Noticing my hesitation, Lysara approached me gently and said, "Therion, the power of the black flame is not a burden you must bear alone. It grows stronger in the unity of those who, even in their imperfection, dare to face their own fears." I took a deep breath, absorbing her words, and I felt that despite my reluctance to trust, there was something genuine in those voices that now echoed around me. As the clearing filled with an almost tangible energy, a sudden crack split the air, the sound of stones shifting and leaves being torn from the ground, heralding the arrival of an unexpected threat. "Enemies!" exclaimed Cairo, and the tension became palpable, as if time itself had slowed down. From the shadows emerged figures unlike the ancient specters I had faced. They were different entities, clad in armor that blended traits of bygone eras with enigmatic elements defying logic. Their steps were silent, yet their presence was overwhelming, and their eyes, cold and calculating, fixed on me with an intensity that made the air feel thick. The leader of these new adversaries advanced with determined steps, his voice echoing through the valley. "Therion, you dare challenge the secrets that must remain hidden?" Every word he spoke was a provocation that stirred the darkest corners of my soul, and for a moment, the silence of the clearing was shattered by a deafening clamor. Feeling the black flame thrumming with an unusual force in my hands, I gathered all my determination and, with a cry that blended despair with the promise of redemption, unleashed an explosion of energy that illuminated the clearing with a blazing brilliance. The impact was devastating. The enemy leader was thrown back, and the sound of splintering metal and muffled screams filled the air. Every beat of my heart seemed to mark the rhythm of an internal battle, as the clash between light and darkness unfolded with overwhelming force. I realized, in that exact moment, that it wasn't merely a physical fight, but a ritual to prove that I could finally master the demons that haunted me. Every drop of sweat and every stifled scream was part of a rite that would seal my evolution as the heir of the black flame. When the wave of energy finally subsided, silence once again reigned over the clearing, now infused with an almost sacred stillness. The circle of stones that formed the altar seemed to have absorbed the echoes of the battle, and every crack on its surface told the story of a titanic clash. My body was exhausted, and every muscle throbbed with the aftermath of the battle. My hands, still warmed by the fire of the black flame, served as a reminder of the burden and the promise that now rested upon me. Cairo approached with a look that blended relief and solemnity, and placed a firm hand on my shoulder, while Lysara, with her deep, serene eyes, observed every detail with a compassion that seemed to transcend time. "Every battle, no matter how painful, reveals a fragment of the truth," said Cairo, his voice choked with emotion. "But the secrets that emerge here pave the way for even greater challenges. The price of truth is high, and the journey to master it will demand sacrifices you could never imagine." As his words sank deep into me, I contemplated the remnants of the battle, the marks left on the stones, the echoes of screams, and the lingering trace of energy still floating in the air. The responsibility of bearing the power of the black flame pulsed intensely in my chest, blending the fear of the unknown with a determination that was beginning to grow from within. As the sun slowly rose on the horizon, the clearing transformed into a scene of renewal. The gentle light of dawn bathed the trees and stones, bestowing upon the place an aura of serenity and mystery. I sat by the stream, letting the constant sound of the water and the rustle of the leaves offer me a moment of respite after the intensity of the ritual. I closed my eyes for long moments, absorbing the essence of that sacred place and letting Lysara's words echo in my mind. "The past always speaks, and the future is carved by the choices we dare to make." As the break of day brought each detail to life, the sparkle of dewdrops, the whisper of the wind, and the distant murmur of the stream, I felt that something within me had changed. The trial of the spirit had revealed itself as the beginning of a path that would require not only mastery of the black flame, but also the courage to confront the ghosts that haunted my inner self. I rose with difficulty, but with a lighter heart and a mind full of new convictions. The group of wanderers, now made up of Cairo, Lysara, Kale, Riven, and others who had joined us, was proof that the union of those who suffer and fight can transform loneliness into strength. As we walked together along the path that faded into the vastness of the forest, the sound of our steps merged with the birdsong and the whisper of the wind, creating a symphony that celebrated hope and determination. I, Therion, felt that despite all the scars and fears, true ascension began when we learned to face our own demons. With the black flame burning intensely in my hands, I advanced confidently into the next chapter of this journey, aware that each challenge overcome brought me closer not only to the truth about my origin but also to the complete mastery of this ancient power. As the first rays of sunlight outlined a horizon filled with possibilities, I continued along the path of the wanderers, determined to transform the weight of my past into the strength for a future where light and shadow merged in a powerful, transformative balance.
Did you enjoy the video? Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This helps us know which stories you love most and which ones we should prioritize in future productions. Your support is essential for us to keep bringing you the best manhwa content every day. See you in the next episode.